So, good good day sa tanan. Ang part sa report kay ang chapter 5.5 to 5.8. So, first topic kay ang scoping. So, scoping. The U.S. National Environmental Protection Agency or the NEPA, Council on Environmental Quality, they define scoping as an early and open process for determining the scope issues to be addressed and for identifying the significant issues related to a proposed action. So, dili na itong kitaan sa scoping ang mga possible na issues na related sa mga projects. So, scoping is the process of determining the content and extent of the matters which should be covered in the environmental information to be submitted to a competent authority for projects which are subject to EIA. Scoping is therefore intended to identify the types of data to be collected, the methods and techniques to be used, and the way in which the results of EIA should be presented. The advantage of scoping is that it helps to obtain advance agreement on the important issues to be considered in the following activities of the EIA and helps to use scarce resources efficiently in order to analyze the impacts while preventing unnecessary investigation into the issues and impacts which have little importance. So, big advantage sa scoping kay makatabang ni para ma-avoid nato ang mga possible na issues sa mga activities sa EIA or Environmental Impact Assessment. Importante man na or dili importante na actions. So, like good early project planning, scoping can save enormous expense and time during the later and most costly steps of EIA. Good scoping requires planning, using competent staff, and providing adequate resources. The outcome of a scoping exercise should be a list of priority concerns and guidelines for the preparation of the EIS, including a structure for the baseline study. So, next topic is the baseline study. So, baseline study determines the characterization of an area prior to the development of a project and establish the initial environmental status. So, baseline study concentrates on gathering the important data. The thing to avoid is costly gathering of data that are of little or no importance. So, baseline study focuses on the gathering of the important data that are found in the scoping process. Some of these are available from previous studies or other sources, but it may be necessary to conduct monitoring exercises in order to gather those necessary data. The baseline study should result in a description of the existing environment, and it should be remembered that this is not static or fixed. Na pa mga changes na may tabo bisag wala pa ang mga project na gipang propose. The outcome of the baseline study is a form of environmental inventory based on primary environmental data collection, where appropriate the options of pre-selected individuals and groups and other sources such as monitoring and evaluation data from similar completed project. As the impacts of the proposed project on the environmental and forecast on the basis of the data collected during the baseline study, it is important that the study is carried out accurately and closely. So, next topic nako is the impact prediction. So, impact should be predicted using the most appropriate methods, which may include predictive equations, modeling, and simultaneous techniques. So, Impact prediction is an area where there are many techniques available to help us. Impact prediction should look not only for the direct impacts but also in the indirect impacts and the interaction between them. This is the only way of building up a full picture of environmental system under the study so that the effects can be understandable. So, impact predictions kay dili lang dapat focus sa mga direct impacts sa projects pero dapat pod sa mga indirect impacts niya ug unsay interactions sa duha sa kanina way makatabang para dali ra sabtan ang mga impact. So, prediction should include and differentiate between the primary and secondary, short and long-term effects. So, example is if a power station is being considered, an imprecise prediction such as the levels of particulate concentration in the air and in the immediate vicinity will increase is likely to be very accurate. However, making a precise prediction of the value of the particulate concentration will almost certainly suffer from inaccuracies. Some assessment of the accuracy of prediction could be included. So, next topic is chapter 5.8 or the environmental impact statement. So, the environmental impact statement or the EIS is a government document that outlines the impact of a proposed project on its surrounding environment. So, first, the environment impact statement or the EIS is a detailed written report on the impact of the project on the environment and should contain the following points. So, first point is the need for project. The need for project is a description of the aims and objectives of the project, explaining clearly why the project is required. So, second is the baseline study report. Baseline study report, a comprehensive description of the existing environment, indicating the levels of important environmental parameters quantitatively wherever possible. Third is a list on description of all reasonable and possible project alternatives, including the do-nothing option. Even options that might be considered non-viable should be mentioned and the reasons given for their rejection. For each of the main alternatives, the following details should be included. So, muna sila mga details na include sa part sa ikatulo. First detail is a clear description of the project during construction and operation, giving details of the use of land, materials and energy, and estimates of expected levels of pollution and emission. So, next detail is a clear estimate of the environmental consequences of each alternative, including predictions of the effects of all the significant impacts on human health and welfare, water, land, air, flora, fauna, climate, landscape, and cultural heritage. This section provides the scientific and technical evidence on which comparisons between the alternatives can be made. So the next detail is the severity of each impact and a clear description of the methods used for measuring and predicting it. The next detail is the environmental consequences of each alternative should be compared possibly in tabular or other easily readable form. As discussed later in this chapter, many consider this to be the most important section of the EIS. So, importante din siya ang kaning sa environmental, kaning part siya. The next is the statement. Conclusion should indicate the preferred options and describe any mitigation measures that may be required to minimize the environmental impacts of this option. Next is a non-technical summary. Should be included. Apil ni mga non-technical summary. So next, the report should include an index and any necessary appendices for detailed calculations and data analysis. So that is my report, and for my part, thank you.